Hi students, welcome back to the world of English. In today's session, we are going to begin with the Unit 3 which is titled as School Life. Okay, everyone has to undergo this stage of life. Okay, so the third unit is titled as the School Life. Okay, the third unit is titled as School Life, and today we are going to begin with reading A, which is titled as Swami is expelled from school. Swami is expelled from school. Dear students, observe the picture. What do you see in the picture? The teacher is punishing the student, right? The teacher is punishing the student. Now, why do you think the teacher punishes the student? You know it. Yeah, the student might have done or probably might have done some mischievous thing. Okay, in order to guide or to guide the student in a right path, the teacher punishes. Okay, and please understand the teachers will not find pleasure in punishing the students. Okay, it's the responsibility of the teacher to make the student to rectify his mistake, okay, and not to repeat it. Fine. So in today's session we are going to begin it with reading A, which is titled as Swami is expelled from school. Okay, and before we begin it, let's know a little bit about the author. Okay, so R.K. Narayan was an Indian author whose works of fiction include a series of books about people and their interactions in an imagined town in India called Malgudi. Okay, he is credited with bringing Indian literature in English to the rest of the world. Swami and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts, The English Teacher, and The Financial Expert are his popular works. The present extract is from Swami and Friends. His narratives highlight social context and provide a feel for his characters through everyday life. In a writing career that spanned over 60 years, Narayan received many awards and honors. These include the A.C. Benson Medal from the Royal Society of Literature and the Padma Vibhushan, India's second highest civilian award. He was also nominated to the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Indian Parliament. Okay, so our lesson is titled as Swami is expelled from school. Okay, so the main hero in the lesson is Swami. Okay, so Swami is expelled from the school. Now, what is meant by expelled? Expelled is to forcefully leave. Okay, Swami was asked to leave the school. Okay, Swami was asked to leave from the school. Now let's see what was the reason. Okay, the headmaster entered the class with a slightly flushed face and a hard, ominous look in his eyes. So who is entering the class? Headmaster is entering the class. Okay, flushed face. Now what is meant by flushed face? Red and hot. His face was very red and hot. And what is meant by ominous? The meaning of ominous is suggesting that something bad is going to happen. Okay, something bad is going to happen. So the headmaster enters the classroom with a red and hot face. Okay, and the students guessed that something is going to happen in the class. Clear? Swaminathan wished that he had been anywhere but there at that moment. The headmaster surveyed the class for a few minutes and asked, "Are you not ashamed of coming and sitting there after what you did yesterday?" So who has entered the classroom? The headmaster. Okay, now who is Swaminathan? Swaminathan is the hero in the lesson, right? So the Swaminathan wished that he had been somewhere else at that moment when the principal entered the class. Okay, he was thinking to himself that he would have been somewhere else and not in the class. And the headmaster surveyed, he just looked around in the classroom for a few moments and asked the students, "Are you not ashamed?" of what you have done yesterday. Okay, and you are sitting so comfortably in the classroom. Clear? Just as a special honor to them, he read out the names of dozen students or so that had attended the class. Okay, so who has entered the classroom? The headmaster, right? So the headmaster entered the classroom and he read out some handful of dozens of students who had attended the class. Okay. After that, he read out the names of those that had kept away and asked them to stand on their benches. He felt that punishment was not enough and asked them to stand on their desks. Okay, so the headmaster entered the classroom. He surveyed few moments and he asked the students whether they were not ashamed of coming to the class and sitting there, okay, for what they have done the previous day. Okay, and as an honor he called out the students who had come to school. Okay, and later on he calls out the names of the students who were absent or who were kept themselves away from attending class. Okay, so he asked the students, those who were absent, to stand on their benches. And the headmaster thought that the punishment was not enough, so he asked the students to stand on their desks. Clear? Swaminathan was among them and felt humiliated at that eminence. Then they were lectured. Okay, anybody could feel, okay, when the teacher punishes in the classroom, you feel humiliated, right? When the teacher asks you to stand on the bench or asks you to come out of the class or to get out of the class, you feel humiliated, right? So the same thing happened for Swaminathan when they were asked to stand on the desk. Okay, so as the students were standing on the desks, the lecture continued, the teacher continued the lecture. Okay. When it was over, they were asked to offer explanations one by one. One said that he had an attack of a headache and therefore could not come to school. He was asked to bring a medical certificate. Okay, so after the lecture, the headmaster asked why they were absent for the class. Okay, so each one was given chance to give the explanation. So one of them says that he had an headache, so he was absent from the school. So the headmaster asks him to submit the medical certificate. Okay. The second said that while he had been coming to school on the previous day, someone had told him that there would be no school and he had gone back home. Okay, so the first one said that he had headache. So the headmaster asked him to submit the medical certificate, and the second one says that as he was coming to school the previous day, someone told him that there would be no school. So after listening to the news that there is no school, the boy went off. Fine. The headmaster replied that if he was going to listen to every loafer who said there would be no school, he deserved to be flogged. Anyway, why didn't he not come to school and verify? No answer. So when the boy says that that since he was informed that there was no school, the boy did not come, and the headmaster becomes very annoyed, and he says, if you are going to listen to every loafer who walks on the street and says no school, you deserve to be flogged. What is meant by flogged? Beat with a stick. You will have to deserve a punishment. Okay, and headmaster also asks him why he could not come to school and verify whether there was school or not. Okay, and the boy had no answer. The boy could not answer. Okay. The punishment was pronounced. 10 days attendance cancelled, 2 rupees fine, and the whole day to be spent on the desk. Okay, so when the student doesn't reply when the headmaster asks, okay, that whether he would have come to school and verified whether the school was there or not. Okay, the boy keeps quiet. Okay, so the headmaster becomes very annoyed and he announces a punishment. He says 10 days of attendance cancelled and 2 rupees he has to fine, and the whole day he has to spend on the desk. Okay. The third said that he had an attack of a headache. The fourth said that he had stomachache. So when the headmaster asks the third student, he says that he had headache, and the fourth student says that he had stomachache. Okay, fine. The fifth said that his grandmother died suddenly as he was starting for school. The headmaster asked him if he could bring a letter from his father. No, he had no father. Then who was his guardian? His grandmother. But the grandmother was dead, was she not? No, it was another grandmother. Okay, so when the fifth student's turn comes, the fifth boy says that his grandmother died as he was coming to school. His grandmother died suddenly as he was starting for school. So the headmaster says that to get a letter from his father. Whose father? The boy's father. And the boy says that he does not have father. Then the headmaster asks him to get a letter from his guardian, the boy's guardian. And the boy says that his grandmother was his guardian. But the grandmother is not there, right? How will she give the letter? Okay, he says no. And he asks, he says that it was another grandmother. Okay, it was another grandmother. So the boy was, trying to confuse the, headmaster. Okay. The headmaster asked how many grandmothers a person could have. No answer. Could he bring a letter from his neighbors? No, he could not. None of his neighbors could read or write because he lived in a very illiterate part of Aluminum Street. Okay, so since the boy had no father and no guardian was actually his grandmother, and grandmother is no more. So the headmaster asks, okay, how many grandmothers do you have? Okay, and the boy could not give answer. So the headmaster asks the boy to get a letter from his neighbor. Okay, the headmaster asks the boy to get a letter from his neighbor, the boy's neighbor. Okay, and the boy says that none of his neighbors could read or write because they were all illiterate. They don't know how to read and write. He lived in a very illiterate part of Aluminum Street. Okay, do you understand? Then the headmaster offered to send a teacher to his illiterate locality to ascertain from the boy's neighbors if the death of the grandmother was a fact. Okay, so finally the headmaster decides to send a teacher to the boy's locality, to the boy's place, to confirm that, by inquiring his neighbors, that his grandmother's death was real or not. Okay, do you understand? A pause, some perspiration, and then the answer that the neighbors could not possibly know anything about it since the grandmother died in the village. The headmaster hit him on the knuckles with his cane, called him a street dog, and pronounced the punishment 15-day suspension. Okay, so when the headmaster decides to send a teacher to his locality to find out the death of his grandmother was real or not, there was complete silence. Okay, the boy keeps quiet. Okay, and finally he says that neighbors would not know possibly anything about the death of his grandmother because grandmother died in the village. Okay, so the headmaster becomes very irritated and hits him on the knuckles with his cane, with the stick, and he calls the boy as street dog, and he also gives punishment as 15 days suspension from the school. Is it clear? When Swaminathan's turn came, he looked around helplessly. Rajam sat on the third bench in front and resolutely looked away. He was gazing at the blackboard intently. Okay, now already some 5 students' turn is over, right? So one said that he had an headache, other said he had stomachache, other one gave an excuse that his grandmother died so he could not come, and other one said that someone told that there would be no school. Okay, now it's a time for Swaminathan. Okay, and he looked very helpless. And in front of him, Rajam sat. Okay, Rajam was sitting in front of Swaminathan. Okay, he was sitting on the third bench, and Swaminathan was gazing at the blackboard intently. Okay. But yet, the back of his head and the pink ears were visible to Swaminathan. It was an intolerable sight. Swaminathan was in acute suspense lest that head should turn and fix its eyes on his. He felt that he would drop from the desk to the floor if that happened. Okay, now who is sitting in front of Swaminathan? Rajam, right? And his ears were completely red. Okay, they were pink in color. So Swaminathan could see the pink ears of Rajam, and he was intolerable in that sight. He was unable to tolerate. Okay, he was in acute suspense. Okay, he was in acute suspense, and he thought he would fall from the desk to the floor. He thought he would fall from the desk to the floor. The pink ears 3 benches off made him incapable of speech. If only somebody would put a blackboard between his eyes and those pink ears. Okay, now Swaminathan was looking at Rajam's pink ears, right? When he saw him, he was unable to speak. He was incapable of words. Okay, he was incapable of speech, and he thought if someone would put a blackboard between his eyes and the pink ears of Rajam. Okay. He was deaf to the question that the headmaster was putting to him. A rap on his body from the headmaster's cane brought him to himself. Okay, Swaminathan was incapable of speech when he saw the pink ears of Rajam, right? So he was completely like a deaf boy. He could not hear what the headmaster was asking. And immediately when the headmaster gave a rap on the body of Swaminathan, suddenly he comes to his senses. Okay, when the headmaster gives a rap on his body, he comes to his senses. Okay. Why did you keep away yesterday? Asked the headmaster, looking up. Swaminathan's first impulse was to protest that he had never been absent, but the attendance register was there. So when the turn of Swaminathan came, yeah, he was already tensed, right? So the headmaster gives a whack and makes Swaminathan to become aware of what was actually happening in the class. Okay, now the headmaster questions Swaminathan why he kept himself away from school the previous day. Okay, why he was absent yesterday. And Swaminathan, his first impulse, his first thought was to say that he had never been absent. Okay, but he became aware of the attendance register. If Swaminathan says that he had never been absent, the attendance register is there, right? So he becomes very aware that if he says he had been never absent, the attendance register is going to prove that he was absent. Okay. No, no, I was stoned. I tried to come, but they took away my cap and burnt it. Many strong men held me down when I tried to come. When a great man is sent to jail, I am surprised to see you a slave of English men. Didn't they cut off Decca muscle? Slaves of slaves. These were some of the disjointed explanations which streamed into his head, and which, even at that moment, he was discreet enough not to express. So Swaminathan first he decides to say that he had never been absent, and he becomes aware that the attendance register is going to prove that he was absent. Okay, and later on there were so many disjointed explanation of his not coming to school. Okay, he starts telling that he was stoned when he was trying to come to school, and his cap was taken away and it was burnt. He was put in prison. There were so many strong men who held him not to come to school. Okay, so all these were actually going on in his mind, and Swaminathan, even at that moment, he was very discreet, he was very careful not to express those disjointed explanations. Okay, he knew they were not correct. Okay, they do not give any sense, they do not give any excuse. Okay. He wanted to mention a headache, but he found to his distress that the others beside him had one. The headmaster shouted, "Won't you open your mouth?" He brought the cane sharply down on Swaminathan's right shoulder. So there were so many disjointed, explanations were streaming in the mind of Swaminathan, but he was very careful not to express those because they were not sensible, right? And the Swaminathan wanted to say that he had headache, but to his distress, the other already had said that he had headache. So Swaminathan was not opening the mouth. So the headmaster shouts at him, "Won't you open your mouth?" Okay, and the headmaster brings his cane sharply on Swaminathan's right shoulder. Cane is a stick. Okay, he hits him with the cane, with the stick. Clear? Swaminathan kept staring at the headmaster with the tearful eyes, massaging with his left hand the spot where the cane was laid. "I will kill you if you keep on staring without answering my question," cried the headmaster. Okay, so already Swaminathan received a whack on his right shoulder, right? So Swaminathan was just staring at the headmaster with the tearful eyes. His eyes were completely filled with the tears. Okay, and he was massaging with one hand. Okay, with his left hand he was massaging his right shoulder. Okay, and the headmaster says, okay, the headmaster says that he would kill Swaminathan if he is not going to answer the question. Okay, if he is not going to answer his question. Is it clear? I couldn't come, stammered Swaminathan. "Is that so?" asked the headmaster, and turning to a boy said, "Bring the peon." Okay, so when the headmaster says, headmaster says that he would kill Swaminathan if he is not going to answer his question, Swaminathan stammers. Okay, he does not know what to tell. Okay, he says that he could not come. He says he could not come, and the headmaster says, "Is it that reason you gave me?" Swaminathan thought, "What? Is he going to ask the peon to thrash me? If he does any such thing, I will bite everybody dead." Okay, so when the headmaster, asks the boy to go and call the peon, Swaminathan thinks why the headmaster is asking the peon to come. Is the headmaster is going to ask the peon to thrash me or punish me? And Swaminathan says if the headmaster does such thing, he says that he would bite everybody dead. Okay. The peon came. The headmaster said to him, "Now say what you know about this rascal on the desk." The peon eyed Swaminathan with a sinister look, grunted and demanded, "Didn't I see you break the panes of the ventilators in my room?" added the headmaster with a zest. So as the headmaster asks the peon to come, the peon comes in, and when the peon comes, the headmaster asks to tell about Swaminathan. He says, "Now tell what you know about this rascal on the desk." Who is that rascal here? It is Swaminathan. So the peon looks at Swaminathan with a sinister look and he says, okay, "Didn't I see you break the panes?" Okay, he says that he has seen Swaminathan breaking the panes. And the headmaster completes what the peon was trying to narrate. He says, "The ventilators of my room." What does it mean here? Swaminathan has broken the panes of the ventilators of the headmaster. Is it clear now? Here there was no chance of escape. Swaminathan kept staring foolishly till he received another whack on his back. The headmaster demanded what the young brigand had to say about it. Okay, now what is meant by brigand? Brigand is a member of a gang of bandits or thieves. Okay, for example, it's a thief. The meaning of brigand is thief. Okay, so here there was no chance of escape for Swaminathan. He was just staring foolishly at the headmaster till headmaster gave another hit on his back, another whack on his back. Okay, now the headmaster asked, what do you say about it? About what? About breaking of the windows of the pane. Okay, the brigand had nothing to say. It was a fact that he had broken the panes. They had seen it. There was nothing more to it. He had unconsciously become defiant and did not care to deny the charge. So the brigand, the thief, Swaminathan had nothing to say because it was true, because he had broken the panes. It was a fact. And they have seen it. They have seen Swaminathan breaking the panes of the ventilator. Okay, so there was nothing more to it. He had unconsciously become defiant. He had become a rebellious. Okay, and he did not dare to deny. He could not say no. Okay. When another whack came on his back, he ejaculated, "Don't beat me, sir, it pains." This was an invitation to the headmaster to bring down the cane 4 times again. He said, "Keep standing here on this desk, staring like an idiot till I announce your dismissal." Okay, so the headmaster gives another whack on his back and he ejaculates. Now, what is meant by ejaculate? It means, to throw forcefully. Simple. When the headmaster gives another whack on his back, he ejaculates. He stops the headmaster beating him. He says, "Sir, don't beat me. It is paining." Who says? Swaminathan says. Swaminathan says to the headmaster not to beat him. Okay. So this time, the headmaster, he brings down the cane 4 times again. Okay, and he says to Swaminathan to keep standing on the desk. Okay, till the headmaster announces the punishment and dismissal. Okay. Every bone in Swaminathan's body burnt with the touch of the cane. He had a sudden flood of courage, the courage that comes of desperation. He restrained the tears that were threatening to rush out, jumped down, and gasping his books, rushed out muttering, "I don't care for your dirty school." Okay, so every tear he was dropping from his eyes that were coming out of the touch of the cane. Okay, because he was hit by the cane, right, by the headmaster. So every pore that was coming were out of the touch of the cane, and he had a sudden flood of courage. He says that he doesn't care about his dirty school, and he jumps out and he grabbing all his books, he rushed out of the classroom. Okay. Well, students, we have done with the reading A. Swami is expelled from the school in today's session. Anyhow, let's have the recap of what we have done today. Let's have the gist of the lesson. Okay. Now, the headmaster entered the class with anger and observed the class for a few minutes and scolds the students who were absent on the previous day. At the beginning, he read the names of those who were present, and then he read the names of those who were absent and asked each and every one for an explanation. Among them was Swaminathan. He felt guilty to be one among them. He thought that he shouldn't be among them. The headmaster asked all the students who were absent to stand up on the benches at first, but he thought that this punishment was not enough and made them to stand on their desk. He gave them counseling. Okay. When the absentees were asked to give reason for their absence, they gave different answers. One said that he was suffering from severe headache, and the other stomachache, and the other says that he was not aware of the school's working day. Different types of punishments were given, like 10 days attendance cancelled, 2 rupees fine, etc. Each and every student tried to escape from the punishments. None of them was a genuine. Okay, now when Swaminathan's turn came, he looked around helplessly. Swaminathan was looking at the head and pink ears of Rajan, but the rap on his body from the headmaster's cane brought him back. He wanted to say many reasons, but he stood dumb. Okay? The headmaster gave him a blow on his shoulders and shouted at him. When he answered that he could not come, the headmaster sent for the peon. The peon eyed Swaminathan with a sinister look and crossed whether he hadn't seen Swami breaking the panes of the ventilations of the headmaster's room. The headmaster gave a whack and demanded to reply. But Swami had nothing to say. For another whack, he requested the headmaster not to beat him, but he gave 4 and asked him to stand on the desk. With the courage came from desperation, Swami jumped down the bench and grasping his books, rushed out muttering that he didn't care for the dirty school of the headmaster. Okay, I believe it's clear, right? Fine. See you in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye.